Greetings, this is M squared, and today we're going to evaluate functions. Hopefully you remember that the word evaluate usually means you're plugging in a number to an expression, and that expression should have variables in it. So keep that in mind. These are functions, so this might be something new for you. So you'll notice that this function is called f of x, that's how we say that, f of x. This one's called g of x, and this one's called h of x. So how we know which function to plug our number in is by that letter. So this says f of -3, so I have to go to the f function, and wherever I see an x, since that says f of x, I'm going to put -3, and then I'm going to simplify. So I write down f of x, but instead of the x, now I have f of -3. So how that used to be x and that used to be x, but if I put a -3 there, then that has to be -3. So 2 times -3, this is me simplifying, minus 5 is -11. So now this one says g of 2. Well, I have to go to g of x. Notice that there are 2 x's in g of x. For every x, I have to replace it with a 2, because now this says g of 2, not g of x. So what I like to do is rewrite the function with just a parenthesis wherever I'm supposed to put the new number. And then I go back in and put in the number. So in this case, it says 2, so I put a 2 there. Remember your order of operations. We always do exponents first. So I'm going to square 2, which is 4. And I'm going to multiply 2 times 2. And then order of operations, I would multiply here first. So I get a -12 plus 4 plus 1. -12 plus 4 is -8, plus 1 is -7. So g of 2 is -7. H of -1/2. So I have to use h of x this time. So again, I like to rewrite h of x, but put parentheses, and then put that number in there, because I'm just simply taking out the x in both cases. They put a -1 in, 1/2 in, so I need to put a -1/2 in. Well, half of 2 is 1, and then it's a -1, so that's -1 minus 11. -1 minus 11 is -12. The absolute value of -12 is 12. Should put that down every time. And then 12 plus 7 is 19. So h of -1/2 is 19. Now I'm going to find g of 2/3. So I write down g again, but without the x's, and then I'm going to put 2/3 in for each x. Exponents first. So when I square a fraction, remember I just square both the top and the bottom, because it's 2/3 times 2/3, and when I multiply fractions, it's top times top, bottom times bottom. So 2 times 2 squared, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9. I can multiply this here, 4/3 plus 1. Instead of multiplying through, I like to cancel if I can first. Remember, multiplication and division have the same priority in order of operations, so that's okay to do. So now I have a -4/3 plus 4/3 equals 1. -4/3 plus 4/3 cancels out to 0. That was supposed to be a plus, but it does end up equaling 1. And that equals 1. So remember, when you're evaluating functions, you're simply taking out the x, and sometimes it doesn't have to be an x in there. You might have a different variable in there, but you're taking out whatever variable there that is given, and you're putting in whatever they tell you, which will be in that little parenthesis after the function letter. Good luck. M squared signing out.